Hi, everybody. I've tried to record this video a couple of times now, but I'm extremely tired and I keep saying things wrong and doubting what I'm saying. It's very strange, but let's dive into it another time. So, Kickstarter's done super well for Trench Crusade, right? $2.3 million, which is incredible. And I'm very happy for everybody involved in the game. And I'm very happy for all the backers because it looks like we're going to have a healthy and viable long-term product to think about and play with and have some fun with. And I think that's a very, very good thing. You don't want something to just exist for a year or two and then stop, right? I personally am hopeful that Trench Crusade continues to develop and grow and become interesting and fun. I'm not expecting it to challenge the big companies anytime soon. I don't think that's necessary or useful to think about, but I love the idea that I can, confidently look forward to more content, more lore, more factions, more everything, which I think is very cool and exciting. So, well done to all the devs. I think you're being justly rewarded for your work, and I hope everything continues to work out well for you. Now there's a couple of little bits of housekeeping that I think I want to do. Things I wanted to do this video about a week and a half ago, but things have just been like super busy. I'm in a super busy part of my day job. So there's a ton of stuff coming to the channel, obviously, over the coming weeks and months. As the STLs arrive for the Kickstarter, I will be printing and painting everything. So if you have any interest in that, feel free to watch. I will be doing battle reports. I will be doing a board build, which is something that people were really interested in and excited about because I've never done it. It'll be fun to learn and to show you mistakes that I make and help you avoid them and things of that nature. I'm trying to be very conscious of the idea that I've noticed a lot of people who are new to the hobby. And I will be doing everything. I'm trying not to assume knowledge on the part of y'all. I was watching Jugs. I don't know if you watched Jugs. It's Once in a Six Side and Louise Sugden and Peachy Tips do a podcast, which is really good. And they were talking about like that assumed knowledge thing on the part of people who watch their videos. And it just kind of sat in my head a little bit that sometimes I probably do that and I will accidentally do that as I try to do more content and videos and stuff in the future. So I will try to remember that a lot of people are new and things that seem simple to me might be complicated to you. So the easiest way to do that, long story short, is be new myself. And a board build is something I've never done. It's a good way to be new at something in the hobby. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a ton more writing, a ton more lore coming, stuff I can't tell ye, but I have seen and heard and witnessed with mine eyes. It's going to be very fun. Hand of Faith Part 2 is being polished this weekend and should be getting published next week. And then there's Part 3, 4, and 5 at a minimum. We'll be following that up. I'm working on another story that I don't want to talk about, and another story that I can't talk about. I've got some videos coming. One that's really interesting that I'm putting a lot of work and effort into, how I reset my hobby brain. I ran into like a brick wall of inspiration basically, and that's coming. And then another one which I think is useful in a broader sense of how you actually get better at stuff. Not in a kind of a dog shitty way. I've noticed people doing, this is how you get better at painting videos, and essentially that's what this one is, but they never break down the actual mechanics of learning or absorbing knowledge or utilizing it in any way. And that stuff is that's academic in a way. Like there's things you can do, there's paths and processes you can follow, There's understandings that you can develop in order to improve at things, and not just one specific thing, but there's actual systems you can put in place and adopt and apply to almost anything to get better at almost everything. And I want to talk about that a little bit because it's interesting to me. I'm somebody who likes to improve and be good at the things that I do, within reason, like to the best of my ability. I'm never going to be able to paint like Vince Venturella, but I would love to be able to paint tomorrow a little better than I could a week ago, and that's all we can ask for. So yeah, tons of stuff coming to the channel. And another just kind of very brief conversation I want to have is, it's been really interesting because it's like I've hit some kind of, so to put it in context, when we brought the channel back in May, end of May, early June, it was 17,000 subs, and it'll be 39 later today, which is really cool. And it'll be 40 by Christmas, like well by Christmas, I would say. It might actually even be like 42-ish by Christmas, if not more. And that's really dope because I didn't have a goal, but if I had a goal, it would have been around 20. I would have thought would have been a realistic, maybe. But you've all been very, very good to me and very, very nice to me. And I never do the whole, oh, please like and subscribe and stuff like that. You all just do it. And I think that that's more genuine in a way. And I've been thinking a lot about the channel because it's like we hit some kind of threshold and a button went off in somebody's office somewhere, and suddenly just people are reaching out to me. Would I like to cover XYZ? Would I like a sponsorship for, ABC? And for the most part, I've been thinking this week about that kind of thing, and I kind of don't want a sponsorship, and I don't want to cover certain stuff. And I get to make that decision because this isn't my job and I don't want it to be. I don't have the goal of going full time on YouTube. It's not something that interests me, and that's a complicated story, but it's the same reason why I don't want to do a Patreon, even though people have asked me. It's the same reason why I don't necessarily want to do a Discord, and it's just, I don't think such things are necessary for what we do here. I don't know what I would offer you to justify a Patreon when you can just watch my stuff for free. And I don't know what I would offer most sponsorship companies, because there's not, like, it's hard to figure out what I want to say. I just don't see the tie-in for most stuff here. And if I'm going to do a video on something, I feel like the Trench Crusade stuff has grown because I think I'm genuine about it, and I think people like that. I think you feel like I'm a fan of the game, and I don't want suddenly stuff to be appearing on the channel that leaves you wondering, why is he covering this? Is this here because he was paid for? Like, it's a sponsored video. Would he have done it without the sponsorship? So the easiest way to know if I would have done it without the sponsorship is I'm just not going to do sponsorships. And if a different game appears for a video or two, you can be certain that it's here because I actually like it. Somebody might have reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to do a video on this stuff? I'll just say yes, and I just won't take any money for doing the video. And that gives me what I want, which is the freedom to truly feel like I don't owe anybody a fucking thing. It gives ye what I think you want from me, which is the feeling that I'm being genuine in my like of the things that I'm talking about. And you can either just not watch it, or you can sit there and go, okay, so Scanner did a video on this game. He obviously finds it interesting. I wonder if I'd find it interesting too. And at the very least, you know that my curiosity in the game is genuine, and you can have genuine curiosity as well. Instead of just sitting there and going, another sponsored video has appeared on the channel. I will watch this, or I will never watch it, and I will never come back to the channel again. So yeah, that's kind of what I've decided to do. I just, for now at least, I can't speak to the future. I'm not going to be crazy and say never, because who knows what happens in my life. I might suddenly find myself in a very desperate place and need to do a sponsored video, or I might need to try and turn YouTube full time. I've already had my life turned upside down once professionally, by illness. I'm not gonna like discount the idea that illness won't strike again and suddenly YouTube will be all I will have. So yeah, but that's just what I'm doing for now. No sponsored videos. I'm very open to working with anybody who thinks they have something that will be of interest to my subs, but I don't want your money. I just want to talk to you about what you're doing. And if I think it's fun, we'll cover it here. And if it's not interesting, we won't. And I think that's a better way to do stuff. So yeah, that's really all I want to do the video about today. Not a huge amount to talk about, but I wanted this thought out of my head because it's been rattling around inside. And if I don't just say it, I can't go back to doing what I want to do, which is just shoot B-roll for the resetting your hobby brain video that I'm working on. So yeah, there you go. I hope you're all having a good weekend, folks. I am having a wonderful weekend because there's nobody in my house, which is delightful. It's just myself and my wife. There's been builders here and plumbers here and tilers here all week long. And don't get me wrong, the guys who are working on the house are fucking sound. Like, they're lovely people, but having them to accommodate them in my head has been a trying time for me. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm having a lovely quiet weekend now and I'm enjoying it very, very much, even if I am incredibly tired. So yes, I hope you are having a good weekend too. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If there's ever anything in particular that you want me to talk about or cover or explore, there might be a whole new game that you think is interesting, let me know. And I will look into it, and if I think it's interesting, we'll talk about it at some point. But I'm kind of very comfortable with regards to ideas for content, probably until post Christmas, if not January, February, March, will all be full of, because December time, I think, is when they're expecting the STLs come out, and by the time they drop, that's a lot of painting videos. That's a lot of, like, I can do battle reports and things of that nature, the board build and things of that nature. So yeah, we have a lot of content ideas coming, but don't let that idea stop you from talking about what you love in the comments. So yeah, that's it, folks. Thank you all for watching, and sláinte.